Hello everyone, this is Magbo Gaming here, and today I wanted to discuss something very interesting in the world of anime in video games. What am I talking about exactly? Well, before I get to that, as you probably know, there is an abundance amount of Dragon Ball Z, Naruto, One Piece, and so many other animes. Yeah, even My Hero Academia has some games. Even Demon Slayer has some games, so you get the idea. A lot of these very popular franchises that people know, they have a plethora amount of video games that you could actually get into and play. But what about one specific franchise called Sailor Moon? Here I'm holding the only Sailor Moon game that I own, and it's a Famicom game. Now I want you to guess exactly how many Sailor Moon games has been localized officially to the States, 100%. Anyone can guess? A big fat zero. What? Yep. As far as I know, there has not been any console releases or handhelds or whatever of Sailor Moon in any format. Crazy, right? Like, for example, it's not the comparison or anything, but this is a lot less popular than Sailor Moon, and yet it had an American release, Famicom Detective Club. I know it's not an anime, but it's a Nintendo franchise based on what it looks like an anime. But I'm just giving an example. This is nowhere near as popular as Sailor Moon, and this had an American release before Sailor Moon. I just recently purchased the final Sailor Moon Sailor Stars 5th season, and I am watching it right now. I'm a big fan of Sailor Moon. I think my favorite Sailor Scout is Sailor Jupiter right here because she's tall, she's very brave, electrical powers, a martial artist, all that good stuff. She's amazing, let's just put it that way. But getting back to the topic, most of the Sailor Moon games that were released in Japan were the older games, like the Super Nintendo, the Game Boy, PlayStation 1, Sega Saturn days. Those were some of the very few games that were released for it. I guess there was a mobile game in Japan as well. There was a game that came out in Europe, if I'm not mistaken. But when I looked up the list, and I'm going to show it right here, the list of Sailor Moon games that has ever released worldwide, none of them says North America. So my question is, how is it even possible for a franchise super popular? Because I see Sailor Moon in every convention. I see like merchandise, DVDs, t-shirts, posters, everything about Sailor Moon besides video games. Why is that? I have no idea, to be honest. If anyone wants to clarify it in the comment section below, feel free to do so, because I do want to get to know what's going on with that franchise. Why it has no chance of appearing in any like PS4, Switch, or anything like that type of games. Anime like even Railgun and Madoka Magica has had games in modern consoles, at least as recent as PSP, maybe PS Vita. But yes, Sailor Moon has no presence in Japan either. After like the PS1, or I don't know, the PS2 had any, probably not. Like, I don't see how is it possible that they cannot make a Sailor Moon RPG or a beat 'em up and all that stuff, or just a fighting game with modern graphics featuring all the Sailor Moon girls that came out since the beginning of time, especially with the popularity of Sailor Moon Crystal out there as well. Like, the franchise is there, the fan base is there. Why there's no game for it when there's such a big following, a big franchise? I still don't know. Enlighten me on this. Maybe the creator of Sailor Moon's like, oh, I don't want any video games for Sailor Moon. This is some of the only ones we're gonna get. And there's some good games there. Not all of them were good, but some of them were. And I just don't get it. Sailor Moon's extremely popular. It's almost as popular as Dragon Ball Z. I'm not joking. Almost as popular as Dragon Ball Z. Almost as popular as Naruto. Almost as popular as Demon Slayer, probably. At least when it comes to convention, they're pretty up there. And yet there's not a single game, not a single video game made for this franchise since the 90s. And maybe a little bit in the early 2000s, I don't remember. Pointing across is that it's ridiculous. If you have a popular franchise, why not make it a video game as well? Just makes no sense. So my conclusion of this whole video is that, honestly, why not make some Sailor Moon games for the modern audience? Make some Sailor Moon games for the Nintendo Switch, for the PS4, PS5, PC even, or Steam, or just like a little snippet. I mean, come on, man. I would buy it instantly if there was a Sailor Moon game of any kind coming out. Because I'm a big fan of it, but this is the only game I own. And why? Because they don't release a single modern game in the US. Nothing in the US came out from Sailor Moon here localized whatsoever. And not to mention that even in Japan, there's barely any Sailor Moon games whatsoever ever released for modern console after the PS2. So that is crazy. Can somebody tell me why? There's billions of games of Dragon Ball and Naruto and stuff, but there's zero of this in the US? And it's almost as popular as those two franchises? I could argue maybe Naruto, One Piece, and Dragon Ball are way popular than Sailor Moon, but Sailor Moon's pretty up there. It's probably in the top 10 most popular animes of all time. I mean, it's our childhood as well. A lot of people's childhood. So yeah, what you guys think? Any Sailor Moon fan out there that wants to explain why no video games of it exist out there? No localization of any of the older games ever exists out there? That could be ported to like modern console? Yeah, I'm curious to know about that because I'm kind of lost. I'm kind of like, this is one of the most popular animes ever, and there's no freaking video games on it. That's weird. That is strange. That's alien. Anyways, that's all I have to say. I hope that you enjoyed the video. If you agreed to the video, be sure to give a like. Be sure to subscribe to the channel if you want to see more video game related topics like this, and me showing on my collection or visiting gaming stores or anything like that. I hope that you enjoyed this video. Be sure to comment below your thoughts on this situation, and if you could clarify why this is going on, let me know. I would like to really know. And I'll see you all in the next time. Magbo Gaming out. Bye bye. Thank you for watching this video. Check these videos too that are related to what you just watched. I'm sure you will find some enjoyment there. You can also follow me on Instagram and support the channel via Patreon or buy my Magbo merch. Links below. Hope to see you again soon.